Bungie's game director Joe Blackburn has just dropped a new update video that actually confirms the final shape being delayed. Let's go ahead and watch and listen in here.
Hey everybody, I'm Joe Blackburn, the game director for Destiny 2. I'm sure with the announcement today that the final shape is coming out on June 4th, there are a lot of questions on, hey, what's the team working on? What's the content that's coming out before June? So I wanted to step by down here in the stream room today and drop by with some classic Joe handwritten notes and talk about what we're doing between now and June. I think this is going to be a pretty short video, so I want to get right into it. Let's start with the obvious stuff. Tomorrow, Season of the Wish launches.
You got to sell us.
We're super excited, not only about the story and the content of this season, but how it's going to roll into the final shape.
Well, that's the next 3 months.
A small army of you out there with your Last Wish raid jackets are wearing them with pride. I know I will be. Then, on Friday, we've got Warlord's Ruin. It's a new dungeon coming to Destiny 2.
We know the name, Warlord's Ruin.
That I would love to talk to you all about, but because I'm at the studio, I'm like a little worried that someone from the Raid and Dungeon team is going to hear me and like come barreling through the door. So we'll let you all see that for yourselves. Speaking of group content, let's talk Fireteam Finder real quick. Recently, we put out some messaging on how Fireteam Finder is going to roll out. I just wanted to give a little more context here. I don't think this is hyperbole when I say I think Fireteam Finder is going to change the way so many of you interact with Destiny 2 on a day-to-day basis. That being said, it's a pretty big technical change to the game. So I want to be really careful with how we roll this out. We're going to be doing limited windows with limited activities to start. This is going to allow us to collect the data we need, take it on, see how server stability is affected, take it off, make changes, and then roll it out better and better each time.
The servers
Ultimately,
are going to be out of
what we're going to be working towards is a version of Fireteam Finder that you can use for raids, dungeons, strikes, PvP, whatever you want that needs a group in the new year and right before the final shape. PvP. So last time we talked a bunch about PvP. I just wanted to give an update on where we are. We've got a Crucible Labs mode that we've been experimenting a lot with called Checkmate. We're going to do two things with Checkmate this year. We're going to take Checkmate and put it onto the core Crucible playlists. It's going to be like 6v6 control unranked. We want to see how the Checkmate rules that we've been experimenting with interact with a larger Crucible ecosystem. But ultimately, what we're trying to do with Checkmate is not create a third or a fourth way to play the game. Checkmate is all about a more deliberate Crucible. So we want to take the rule changes for Checkmate, be this slower ability recharge rate, or different rules around special ammo. We want to find the stuff that's working, and we want to start porting those rule changes over into the core Destiny 2 Crucible. This is about creating a Crucible that is more strategic, is more focused on your guns, and is more focused on the loadout that you're bringing in to fight with.
Less ability spam. I like it.
Speaking of Crucible, let's talk maps.
Map pack.
So not only do we have the Citadel coming to Destiny 2 this week, we also are still cranking out maps for the map pack that we talked about earlier this year. This is going to be coming out in the new year all at once. We've got 3 maps, one on Europa, one on Neomuna, and one on the Terraform Pyramid. I actually got a chance to play test these again yesterday. I'm really excited about all of them. I think I did the best on the Europa map, but right now I think Neomuna is trending to be the sort of internal favorite. Really excited to see how all these get built and continued over development. Really excited for them to get in your hand. They're all sort of Jav 4 size. So we know we've been putting out a lot of larger maps. We want to put out maps that are going to be able to really excel in modes like Trials of Osiris and the competitive playlist to really balance out both these larger experiences and more, close quarters experiences as well.
And people who play a lot.
Ultimately, this is not everything that we're doing in PvP, so keep your ear out for socials. We're trying to make sure that the Destiny 2 Crucible is built for those folks that love to log on and play Destiny PvP every single day. All right, let's see what's on page 2 here.
All right, Joe.
I think the big question in everyone's mind is, okay, but Season of the Wish content is going to roll out. Talk to me about February through June.
Thank you.
So starting in February, we're going to be rolling out more content that's available to anyone who plays Destiny 2. It's going to start slow in February with things like Moments of Triumph and a series of progression, reward-centric weekly quests we're calling wishes. I'll let the folks on Reddit theorize on what they think these wishes could be. Then in March, we're going to be pulling Guardian games in, and this year it's got a revitalized focus on this sort of class v class competition that we think really is going to accelerate the creative and the excitement around the event.
Should have made SRL.
But ultimately, we're trying to get towards April and May. We're going to be talking about a new period of Destiny we're calling Destiny 2 Into the Light. Now, as we get closer to Into the Light, we're going to be talking more about it in the new year. But this is really built not only for the folks that have played Destiny for 5,000 hours, but also for your friends, for your family, for people that are just getting into Destiny and want to prepare for the final shape. We're really excited about the content and rewards that are coming in this. So please stay tuned. We'll be talking more about what's happening in these sort of 2 months before the final shape as we get closer to them. But all of that aside, what most of the team is working on right now is what's coming out in June, the final shape. We know there are high expectations for the way that we're going to put a bow on this 10-year saga of Destiny 2. We know that y'all are expecting awesome, gorgeous new locations, a bunch of new stuff to fight, and a bunch of new ways to fight it, all alongside a story that has to stand side by side with some of the best stories our studio has ever told. I'm going to be honest. We've been holding some cards close to our chest on this one. And I'm going to ask that you bear with us for a little bit longer, because we think a bunch of the systems and the gameplay that we want to talk about are things that you need to see, not just hear. So in April, when we come back with gameplay from the final shape, we want the game to speak for itself.
All right, Joe.
All right, I promised I wouldn't take as long this time. I've got a bunch of play tests to run to. So thanks so much for spending some time with me this morning. I am going to see all of y'all this week in Season of the Wish. Thanks again. Bye.
All right, so there you have it. That's the update from Joe Blackburn. Let's go ahead and talk and discuss some of these points here. We have first, of course, the final shape being delayed until June 4th. This one definitely hurts, especially after hearing about all the layoffs. A lot of people are definitely feeling like, is Destiny 2 going to be good? Is Destiny 2 dying, dwindling, stuff like that? Obviously, he's trying to play some things close to the chest. And if I can be completely honest, I'm not completely convinced that the last 3 months of next season are going to be all that hype or all that interesting. Guardian games, as being the highlight of that time period, is a tough sell for me. They really could have sold me, and I think sold the entire community, if they gave us an SRL season. I know that they said they were not ever going to do that again, but honestly, that's what the community's wanted for so long. Even if it was just a mini SRL event that lasted for 2-3 months, that alone would be enough to get everyone hyped up and ready for the final shape. I do like the direction that they're going with PvP overall, though. I think that Checkmate is a good modifier, and I'm excited to see how it plays in other Crucible playlists. It also looks like he's absolutely terrified of what Fireteam Finder is going to bring to Destiny 2. I imagine the servers are going to absolutely implode on the first day that that goes live, just because the servers are already kind of trash, and you add this crazy intricate system into it, it's only going to make things even much more of a disaster. Hopefully with time they can finally get Fireteam Finder figured out, because its counterpart, what we've been using before this, was guided games, which has been an absolute disaster, a complete nightmare. I don't think anyone ever uses guided games, or anyone has had much success with guided games. I've heard horror stories about guided games in the past. Let me know if you've ever had a good experience with guided games. What do you think about Joe's update today? Are you excited for the next season coming up? Are you looking forward to the final shape? Has he won you back with this one, or are you not happy with this update? Let me know your thoughts, and click on the screen here to watch another video from this channel.